me go now. Thank God I'm free. Thank God I'm gorgeous. Thank God. You know, you look at yourself, gain a few pounds, be like, man, I ain't never looked this good before.
That's all right.
Speak to yourself. Tomorrow, you is beautiful. How does that one go with? You is gorgeous. You is smart. Whatever it is. I just said that for him. Speak to yourself. Y'all ever had to do that before? You ever get yourself, you getting down on yourself. I never did it. I failed everything I started. You'll be like, man, the very next thing I do is going to be a success. Why? Because everything else, man, God done set me up for victory. He set me up for victory. One of the things that the SEAL teams, if you ever read about the SEALs teams and war and stuff like this, they have a saying. They say the only easy day was what? Yesterday. So they never worry about how hard it was yesterday. They say all yesterdays were easy. Today is the one for the battle. Today I got to dig in. You got to learn how to say, listen, I know I got a sword fight in the desert, but I'm going to win. Why? Because God's going to give me the victory. So after the devil tempts him about turning that into the stone, then he said, listen here, let me take you up into the temple and say unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast yourself down. Don't you know the word of God tell you that angels gonna give charge of you? He won't let your foot be dashed against a stone. What he's saying is you're not even gonna stub your toe. The angels are gonna be blessing you. You got to recognize and say, I know what the word of God says. That's true. But I'm not getting ready to tempt God to be able to prove the word of God. All of y'all that going around talking about, yeah, I know it'll be the will of God. If the red ball comes up now it's the will of God. Cut that nonsense out. I know that's my husband if he wear a blue suit today. I'm just letting it sink in. I know that's my husband. You know, if he wear a red suit this time, I know that's my husband. It don't matter that he already married with 3 children. You've got to recognize and know that there's a sword fight going on. There's a battle going on. There's a sword fight in the desert. You got to learn how to speak to the word of God. Do y'all know that? He tell you to cast yourself down, kill yourself. You be like, no, I know what the word of God says, but it's written. Don't tempt the word of God. Don't tempt that. And then he don't stop, brothers and sisters. Y'all notice here, the whole premise of this thing is that he kept coming. So what makes you think he's not going to keep coming at you? When he came the last time, he said, listen, don't you know if you just worship me, I'll bless you? He hit him in his pride. He hit him in his belly. He hit him physically and emotionally. He said, listen, I'll show you all of the riches and all of the providences. If you just worship me, I'll give you authority over all of these things. But God letting know Jesus was fighting. He was sword fighting. He was using the word of God in the wilderness. You've got to learn how to use the word of God. That's why the Bible talks about speaking to yourself in psalms and hymns. That's why the word of God tell you to memorize the word of God. Write the word of God in your heart so that you might not sin against him. Why? When you memorize the word of God, you can pull it up when the devil is trying to destroy you. Quit allowing the devil and you just sitting back floating on this thing like a leaf on the water. Just going any old place the wind blows you. Any old place the mind blows you. Y'all heard Mother Watkins testify, didn't you? She said, I ain't have to wait for me to call them. This is how, and I'm not being mean, I'm not being spirited, but I love the way it sounds. She said, I knowed I was healed. Isn't that what she said? She said, I ain't have to call them. They called me, told me everything was okay. Already.